Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at a very important concept of combinatorics, and that is double counting. The idea of double counting is very simple. Suppose you have any problem where you have to count the total number of arrangements or selections of certain objects, right? That's how a combinatorics problem is. You have to count maybe the arrangements or the selections of some objects. Okay, now you may come up with different techniques to count those same number of objects. For example, you are giving me the logic that count in this way, and then we will be able to count all objects. Your friend has come up with a different technique, and both of you are counting correctly, right? But since you are using different techniques of counting, we may end up with different formulas of counting. That's the idea of double counting. Look at this very trivial example to understand this. Suppose you have to count 10 distinct objects. You have a classroom having 10 students, and you want to count them. Then you can count them like this, that you can count them in pairs, that you can count them as 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, and then you get a count of 10, or you can count them as 5 plus 5, and then also you get a count of 10, right? So what did you gain from this? You gain from this probably the fact that this 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 and 5 plus 5 are essentially the same things, that the sum of 5 2's is same as sum of 2 5's. Alright, so a very trivial example, but something to gain from there, right? Essentially the same idea is what you apply for double counting in combinatorics. Alright, so what we do is that we have a problem, right? We have a problem where we have to count number of arrangements. We come up with two different techniques. And using those different techniques, we end up with different formulas. Now those formulas are giving me the same answer, right? Those formulas are giving me the same answer, so those formulas must be also equal. So we gain new facts, right, from this powerful idea which we call as double counting. To understand it more clearly, look at this very trivial, very simple example, which is this one. Find the total number of subsets of a set containing and distinct objects. All right, okay. So a very simple problem. We have a set which contains n distinct objects, and you have to count how many subsets can be formed from that set. Now what we will do is that we will use two techniques of counting the total number of subsets. Look at the technique 1, right? So look at method 1 of counting. Okay, so in this technique what we will do is we use this logic. Since we have to count total number of subsets, we count how many subsets are containing 0 objects, then we count how many subsets are containing 1 object, then 2 objects, 3 objects, and in the end how many subsets are containing n objects. And that is very simple to do. So first we count number of subsets containing 0 objects. Okay, now how do you count that? Now very easy. You have a curly bracket, and inside this you will put the objects, right? So if you have to put nothing, if you have to put nothing inside the curly bracket because you want to find out number of subsets containing 0 objects, out of these n objects, nothing comes here. From n objects, you have selected nothing, right? So NC 0. So we end up with that this is NC 0. Alright. Then number of subsets containing one object, that would be equal to, now inside this curly bracket there will be one object. In how many ways can you put one object inside this curly bracket? That would be NC1. You have to select one object from these n distinct objects. So you end up with NC1. Now, as you have got my point, then in this way, if you keep on going that for two objects, then number of subsets containing two objects will be equal to, that would be equal to NC2, right? And I need not explain because now this curly bracket contains two objects. In how many ways can you put two objects from these n objects? You select two objects in NC2 ways, right? So if you keep on going this, if we keep on doing this for three objects, we get NC3. In the end, this we count the final one when the number of subsets containing n objects, that would be NCn, right? So we end up with that total number of ways or total number of subsets is equal to NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus NCn. Alright. So this is clear to us, right? So this is method 1 of counting total number of subsets. Alright. So we end up with this particular formula. Okay. Now we will use a different method or different technique, right? And we end up with a different formula, right? Okay, let us see how. So look at this method 2 of counting. Fine. What is this method 2 of counting? Now look here. Look at any subset. Look at any subset of this set containing n distinct objects. Any subset. Look at any subset. Okay. You have to form this subset, right? Okay. Now, this set is containing n distinct objects. This set is containing n distinct objects. Now, every object in that set has two choices. Do you agree with me? Any object in this set has two choices. Either that object be in this set or not be in this set. Like it can go in this set or not go. Right? It has two choices or not. Suppose this set contains A1, A2, A3, and A1 can be here or not be here. It has two choices, right? Alright. If every distinct object there, A1, A2, A3, every distinct object in this set has two choices, then by multiplication principle, we end up with that the total number of subsets that can be formed is nothing but 2 into 2 into 2 n times. Alright, this is the idea. So what do we end up with? That each object in the given set has two choices. Therefore, total number of subsets is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 n times, and we end up with 2 raised to the power n. Alright. Two choices of what? Of going into this set. Are you getting this? So it may go, may not go. It may happen that no one goes into this set, then this is an empty set. If only one object goes and nobody else, then it is a subset containing only one object. If maybe two objects decided to go and none of the other vent, then this contains only two objects like this. So this way what we will get is the total number of subsets. So total number of subsets is the total number of choices these objects have. Alright. Now the thing is that the formula that we have obtained here and the formula that we have got here are counting the same thing, so they must be equal. So we end up with that NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus NCn plus Ncn must be equal to 2 raised to the power n. You can check that by putting values of n like n0, 1, 2, 3 and see that both sides are always equal. We are very familiar with this formula. On the left side I have sum of all the binomial coefficients, and on the right side I have 2 raised to the power n, which we already have done before.